All right, welcome back. And now being joined on the program to continue this discussion on, of course, the race to the 2023 presidency. Joining us from Abuja right now is Ebwola Martins, who is a spokesperson of the New Nigeria. Mr. Martins, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Let me start by asking you, I know you've been a strong advocate for the presidency moving to the southeast of the country. But you look at what is happening, because this time we're going to look at both political parties. Now I'm talking about the two major political parties in the country, and we look at the chances of any of these parties now fielding candidates now from, or a presidential candidate now from the southeast of the country. So let's start off with the PDP. You look at what is happening in the PDP as we speak. The majority of the aspirants who have come out from that party are actually from the north of the country. And the party, of course, to some extent has said, would appear to have jettisoned this whole idea of zoning altogether, because it has a completely different approach. So what's your take on that? And what do you think are the chances of a Southeasterner emerging the presidential candidate of the PDP?
Well, thank you for having me, DG. I think my position will never change and has never changed. I'm a man of justice, and I believe that equity and justice should be things that we should be looking out as a country. One of the reasons where we are today is because we are not doing justice to justice itself. So as you're aware, we've had presidency since 1999 in this Fourth Republic, and we've had president from the north, southwest, the north, south-south. So if it's coming back to south-south, so to the south again, I think it makes a lot of sense, since every other region has tested it, if you ask me, except that of the southeast.
The problem now is that you look at the PDP, we are not even sure it's coming to the south, because some members of the PDP, especially those from the north, have made the argument that, look, even if they were to go by zoning, that the last president of the PDP was from the south, and so that this time it should go to the north.
Well, if that is the argument, I think the argument, if you ask me, is not an argument that should hold water by any standard. Because I'm not a member of PDP, but if you ask me, the last presidential candidate for PDP is from the north, not from the south. Let's separate that. So if they've been able to feature a candidate from the north, and they are unable to pick it, because at that time both parties brought their candidate from the north. So it wasn't that one party brought from the south and another one brought from the north. Both parties. President Muhammadu Buhari happens to come from the north. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar also is from the north. So both also they ran, but fortunately one was able to succeed, to be successful in his party, and the other one was unable to be successful in the party. But what I'm just saying is that if we look at the country as a whole, because if you become a president, you are not going to become a president for a political party. You are going to become a president for the country as a whole. So both parties and whatever, you're going to lead everybody. And if you are going to lead anybody, justice and fair play happens to be very important thing that we should look at. But I think that, like I said, I'm not a member of PDP, but I think that PDP should zone they should zone their presidency to the south.
Now, I mean, you are saying they should zone their presidency to the south, and for you, you're relying, so to speak, on moral persuasion. But you know, in politics, it doesn't play out that way. And if you listen to the various aspirants now that have come out on the platform of the PDP, they've even been talking about presenting a consensus candidate from the north. And I'm just wondering what you think the chances of people like Peter Obi, for instance, who has declared his intention to run. What do you think his chances are you know, strictly speaking, as a politician now, and looking at the political intrigues at play, if you like, what do you think his chances are of emerging the candidate of the party?
Well, as you know, I'm really, like I said, I'm not a member of PDP, and I'm not a spokesperson for Peter Obi. All I know is that, you know, positions are not just given freely. People fight for it. And I think what they should do as a Southeasterner or people from the South is for them to fight for that office. They should stand their ground. They should come together as a group of people to fight for their own right, to fight what they think is right for them. I can speak well for APC because I am aware that the party is really trying its best, the president is trying his best based on the circumstances he found himself. And I can also speak for my boss, who I think will be a very, very good presidential candidate for the party, and who I believe that can deliver the dividends of democracy for the people.
Let's even talk about the APC further. I mean, it's like becoming obvious that the APC will zone its presidency to the south, but where the president will come from, whether it's going to be southwest or southeast, is what we do not know. You look at the presence of the APC in the southeast is not as strong as it is in the southwest. Whether we like it or not, the party is not very much liked in the southeast the way it is liked in the southwest. So you look at all those things coming to play. What do you think? What chance do you think a southeastern politician in the APC stands when you factor this, you know, the strength of the party now in, you know, the southeast compared to the southwest?
Well, let me first explain this to you. PDP was not popular in Southwest in 1999 when we entered this Fourth Republic. And they won the presidential election. ACN was more popular in Southwest, as you are all aware. But because of the issue of justice, because the situation the country found itself at that time, made the leadership of the party look at a candidate that can be accepted all over the country. So they weren't looking for a candidate that would be accepted just in the Southwest. So they were looking at a candidate that the North will appreciate, the Southeast and the South will appreciate. That was why they arrived at President Olusegun Obasanjo. And that's what we are saying, that based on the situation that we find ourselves right now, there is a need for APC as a party to look at a candidate from the Southeast extraction that has been able to reach out to all the regions in the country.
Let me put it back to you. Of all in the APC, of all the politicians, yes, from the Southeast who have indicated interest to run for the presidency, who among them would you say has that broad acceptance and has been able to build, you know, a broad base across the country that you think will be more acceptable across the entire regions of this country? Which of them would you say that person is?
Yeah, certainly that would be Senator Okorocha. As you know, all over the region in this country, including the Southwest that I'm from, you can see the signature of Rochas in Southwest. You can see the signature of Rochas in Kano, in Sokoto, in Bauchi, in all across board. Even in South and Cross River, right now you can see signature there. So this is not just because we believe in him. We believe in him not only because he's from the North or because he's acceptable. We believe in him not because he's from Southeast and being accepted by the Northerners, but we believe in him because of his antecedent. If you check very well, Rochas remained one of the presidential candidates that was able to build something out of nothing before he got involved in politics. Not only that he did that, he was able to reach out to the poor, to the less privileged. But I think we should ask ourselves this question. And sincerely speaking, I think all Nigerians should look at this so critical. How many, I repeat, for the third time, how many among all the politicians that we have today that was able to make themselves before they got involved in government? You can ask, you can find that question. Were they these billionaires and multi-billionaires before they got involved in government? No. Government made them at the expense of the masses. This is the difference. Give me any name and I will tell you, I will give you facts and figures how government made them to be billionaires at the expense of the poor people. Rochas is the only politician living today that was able to make himself. And if you doubt me, you can check.
Let me ask you this pointedly. How then do you explain the fact that he's not been able, for instance, to keep his party together in his state? As we speak today, you know, he's been a loggerhead with the governor of his state. And we all know what played out. You saw what played out in the election, the governorship election in that state, when he refused to accept the decision of his party. The APC made a decision, chose somebody as the governorship candidate of that state, and he refused and still went on to support his son-in-law. How do you explain that?
No, I can explain it because maybe the information is not the information you are giving, what you're asking is not accurate. The issue here is this. You and I, we knew what played out. And all of us, we knew why they were against this man. How do you explain a man who for the first time in Imo State put up things that is quite unbelievable? He built 200-seater bed hospital in each of the local governments of Imo State. He built ICT center in each of the one ICT center in each of the local government of the state. He built one of the best conference center you can ever think of in the state. And by the way, don't even let us forget this. Do you remember that during his time as the governor of Imo State, between 2011 and 2019, Transparency International and Bureau of Statistics adjudged Imo State as the least corrupt state in Nigeria.
I can understand that he did achieve a lot, no doubt. But what I'm saying is, politically speaking, he's not been able to manage to coexist, if you like, with those who would appear not to agree with his views, especially his own political party. I mean, you know what happened. His own political party had a governorship candidate, but he chose to go the other way. He chose to go against his political party. I'm just wondering if that political party would want to entrust someone like that with its presidential ticket.
But DG, you and I were all aware that he never left the party and he will never leave the party.
Of course, I know.
He did everything he could. He supported the president with everything that he has gotten. He happens to be the first leader of APC in Southeast. Don't even forget what happened. I think we should, for the purpose of people knowing the information of what happened. The setting of APC as a party, it was done by 4 groups, political parties.
Sure.
One is CPC, headed by the current president, Muhammadu Buhari. One is ACN, headed by Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The third one was Oweliana Okorocha from ABGA. He moved ABGA and his people to APC. Why the other people move also to APC? Move also say the third force were those other 4th group who also joined.
All right.
Now, how do you say this when somebody fought very hard to build a party? Those who are fighting him in Imo now with other of their colleagues because of the issue of presidency were the same people who were against APC at the beginning in the same eastern state. They were the reason why the APC did not do extremely well in the East. Now they enter the party, they want to drive the landlord away. Somebody who joined in building the party. This is what happened. It's just a matter of somebody's using someone to fight the other person. This is the problem.
All right.
I can hear you now. Yes.
I hear you. I think we'll just have to leave it there. Let's just wait and see how the whole thing plays out. And but of course, it's quite unpredictable. We just have to keep a close watch at the political parties and see how it all plays out and who eventually emerges the candidates, especially the candidates now of the two major political parties, the ruling All Progressives Congress and the main opposition PDP. Well, Mola Martin, spokesperson of the New Nigeria, thank you very much for joining us on the program and thank you for your insights.
Thank you.
Well, that's how much we can take on the program this week. We thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.